Hello viewers, here is a rather unusual window fan. I very vaguely recall purchasing this. I'm guessing it must have happened right before I moved out, and so it came in and I just needed to stash it away somewhere so that it was out of the way and not just another item I gotta move around and whatever. So I think what happened was it came in and I just put it right in storage and I kind of forgot about it. Ironically, I was over there the other day and I found it. And the irony is I was just talking about one of these with the letter H, as he recently found one. This one is Lakewood branded and seems to be completely Lakewood branded, whereas the one that he has is branded multiple different brands all over the van. This one says Lakewood on the front. It says Lakewood again on the back. And the information, which are particularly difficult to read right now because of the way the lighting is today. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get them on the video. No, I'll just read them to you. The information says model T-99 AC 120 volts 60 Hz 1.6 amps, manufactured by Lakewood Engineering and Manufacturing Company, Chicago, Illinois 60612. So, and the UL says listed UL 96M. So maybe this is a late 90s product. Looks like it could be around that era, maybe 2000s. It's kind of interesting because the blades to me look like a Lasko Galaxy product. I've never seen Lakewood use these blades before. I'm hoping that this is a great window fan. The guards look to be aerodynamically correct. The blade set we know is very quiet and effective. So it certainly offers a lot of promise. The side panels are actually metal and they don't work very well, but there's no stupid clips at least. I don't know if you're supposed to get those out once they're all the way in, but I guess that's a mystery for another day. Alright, let's go ahead and start it off on low. It's got the same kind of switch design that the Holmes units did, or still do. Okay, my hopes came true. It's a good fan. Very, very quiet. As with most of these, I'm sure the actual CFM volume is kind of minimal just because it's a small fan. But this is moving a decent amount of air. I'm standing almost 10 feet back from it and I can still feel the breeze perfectly fine. Yeah, all the way across the room I can still feel the breeze. It's about 15 feet away and there's still a noticeable amount of air. It's kind of a more gentle breeze, but it seems to travel very far. So something is definitely correct on the aerodynamics front here. I'm sure it could use oiling and cleaning, but it generally seems to run pretty smooth. That sound is just because of the way I have it propped up on the table with a screwdriver behind it. There is some vibration. It's hard to tell if the blades are balanced or not because you have two blades moving around simultaneously, and if they're one or both is slightly off, it's going to interact differently and whatever. Moves pretty good air. I'm impressed with this so far. Very, very quiet. Alright, let's go to high. Alright, not a big difference. Actually, no, there's a big difference. Took a minute to get there. Now it's shaking quite a bit. There's a lot of vibration. So just have to ignore that sound. As far as the airflow goes, it's pretty strong now. It took some time to get up to speed, but there's definitely a big difference between the low and high. This is quite strong. And it's still pretty quiet, especially compared to the Holmes model. I think this is still quieter than the Holmes model on low. Plus the noise is a fairly pleasant sound. It's not a, you know, the sound that the Holmes makes is a very harsh, dissonant sound. This is just air moving. It's pretty negligible. And just like with low speed, the air travels very far. There's still a considerable breeze, very noticeable. But this might end up working out good for the kitchen because if I put it in one end of the kitchen, I'll still feel it at the other end of the house. Or the other end of the kitchen, if it's the whole width of the house there. It's definitely vibrating quite a bit. Might have to look into balancing these blades somehow. It's going to be tricky. It looks like from the back. I guess this wouldn't fare too well in the elements because the motors are just chilling right there. So that's not the greatest design. Aerodynamically speaking, this is probably the greatest window fan design I've ever seen. Right up there with there's those Honeywell or Kaz or whatever it was fans that had the blades similar to like the Honeywell turbo fans. Those were pretty good too. But I think this is even quieter than those. And this looks like it might be a 7 or an 8-inch blade rather than just the 6. So you get a little more surface area out of the fan, a little more volume of air movement. Interestingly enough, the bearings seem pretty free still. Well, this is a great fan. I'm very glad I got this, even though I don't really remember it, which is kind of unusual. Something like this, I like anything Lakewood, except for those awful, stupid A and DX garbage oscillating fans. I like almost anything Lakewood, so this would have been an item of significant interest to me, so I'm surprised I don't remember it. It must have been right during the relocation, and that's why it just kind of got swept under the rug, if you will. But I'm glad the conversation came up with the letter H, And I'm glad that I found it, consequently, even though the two were completely inconsequential of each other, because now this is definitely something I'm going to use over here. Although at this rate, I'm not sure when, because I can't recall the last time the humidity has been under 80%. So it has not been a window fan summer thus far. It's been pretty much exclusively an air conditioner summer, but eventually it's got to calm down. So that's it for this one. It's really quite clean, although we'll probably just do a quick wipe down the blades and everything, put some oil in the bearings, and get it in service.